Welcome back to The Double Take. I'm Ethan Mitchell.
And I'm Josiah Mitchell.
And today we have a video for you about a celebrity who said something about manhood
that you might find interesting because we certainly did.
Oh, yeah. We saw it and we're like, wait.
Yeah. We definitely did that meme.
Yeah, because it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. And it's definitely speaks to a deeper level of the heart of, dare we say, men's very genetic makeup.
Absolutely.
And so we found it super interesting. So let's get right into it.
So the video you're about to see in it, the guy is John Mayer.
John Mayer, and he doesn't say his last name. He just refers to himself as John. The podcast that he's on, the young lady he's with, she says John. So I was like, wait a minute, that's John Mayer.
Yeah, he's absolutely goated on guitar.
I didn't recognize him without the six string.
Yeah, he's got that six string on lock. Let me tell you, he's so good. A few of his songs are like our top favorites. We go to the beach and we listen to those songs.
Oh, they're so
with
good.
Our brothers. Yeah, it's a good time. Absolutely. So watch this video and keep your eyes peeled for what he's talking about.
I mean, I gotta tell you, I've never told anyone this. People don't think I want to be married. I absolutely want to be married.
I know that, yeah.
You know the secret, which is that I'm actually fairly well adjusted. And I so badly want to get married, if only for my wife to just know in her heart, like John will know what to do. I just think that level of being relied on is the hottest thing in the world.
We're going to stop the video right there. But actually, he makes such a good point. Not only does he say, I really want to get married, but he says, I really want like the pieces of marriage, right? So he's talking about like the individual puzzle pieces and the whole thing.
Which is a good thing because that reveals that he's thought about this and not just like marriage as a whole, as like the mothership, as the end all be all, but he's thought about like the little pieces, the little building blocks that go into marriage.
Which is so good.
Yeah, that's a great thing. And John Mayer, if you don't know, he's a very famous musician. He's worth between $40 and $70 million.
Which is a lot.
And I just did a quick Google search. I mean, I don't know if he has that much cash on hand, but he's assets, you know, his kind of net worth. He sells out shows regularly.
Yeah, I mean, he said he's fairly well adjusted. It would seem that is the bare minimum.
Yeah,
it seems like he's being modest.
He's definitely being modest, but I just really appreciate his vulnerability saying, I really want to get married, you know, and that's a good thing. And that was a full stop. I want to get married. But then he says, you know, if for nothing else, then to know that my wife can rely on me. And she says, call John, you know, oh, we got a situation. Let's ask John. You know,
he'll
that
take
type
care of it. Yeah,
yeah.
So that speaks to the genetic makeup that we alluded to earlier of a man. We desire and we love to be needed. We love to take the leadership, and we love to steer in the right direction. And that's what he's wanting. He's wanting somebody not only who looks to him with like love and admiration, but somebody who's like, I don't have to worry about this because John will take care of it.
Yeah,
and that's such a good thing.
That's a really good thing. Men like. That's a natural desire. That's a part of our makeup, as we've mentioned. That's a part of the way God designed us is to be leaders who can be relied upon. And so as a man, you should be reliable.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like there's a lot of men that are wishy-washy, that are pretty vapid, that are, you know, hot and cold. And while by themselves, those may not be the worst things in the world. No, but like a stack up of those things will make you less reliable. Someone like, yeah, you know, he doesn't come through all the time.
Yeah,
so
that's rough.
We could ask him, but I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of that, unfortunately, a pet peeve of mine, a lot of that comes through in the way that you communicate with others. Like if I text you and you literally don't text back for like a week and a half, buddy, I'm just not going to text you again.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to end up calling you, or I'm going to do something else. Or when I see you in person, I'm going to be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah,
like,
that was me last night. I saw a buddy that I hadn't seen in like weeks, maybe even a month or two. And I just cornered him and I was like, hey, thanks for the text back.
Yeah, what's up?
And he hadn't texted me. And I literally texted him and said, do I need to pay you to hang out with me? Like, what's going on here? Because he wouldn't respond. And he didn't respond. And so I finally cut him out of the herd and was like, hey.
He's such an awesome dude, though.
Yeah, I love him. Love him to death.
Love him to death. We got to hang out with him, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
But, that we be reliable. What we're saying is be reliable, all right? And what John is wanting is somebody who relies on him, right? And I think what he really loves is somebody that like can do the job, right? But like knows how much he loves to lead. So me at work, if I go to work and somebody comes up to me and they're asking me to do something I have no idea how to do, I'm going to be like, yo, talk to my boss. Like, I'm sorry.
Refer you to the person that actually knows.
The person who's leading me. I'm on his team, right? This guy's awesome. Go talk to him because he knows he knows what's up, right? And if somebody comes up to me and they're like yelling at me or they're mad at me, my boss will step in to be like, whoa, what are you doing? You can't talk to my guy like that, right? I think that's what John wants in a marriage, is somebody where he can fight for, somebody he can defend, somebody he can lead, somebody he can help, somebody who looks to him for the leadership. And that's such a good thing.
It's a good thing. And men, why does John Mayer talk about this as if it's an odd desire?
Yeah, why does he say, like, oh, no, I've never told anybody this.
Yeah, he's like, I want to be relied on. Is that weird? Almost asking if that's strange. Well, it's not strange, but the reason John Mayer says that is because the culture, the feminist culture, says women should not rely on men. Mm-hmm. They say, woman, girl, you can do it yourself. You don't need no mans. You're a strong, independent woman. And so then the men who have kind of bought into this or have been taught this, oh, women don't need me. Those men genuinely believe women don't need me. And so they're saying, what do I do with this desire to be needed by a woman? Yeah. What do I do with that? Well, men, reject that feminist mentality. Yeah, like, it is part of your poison. It's part of your makeup to be relied upon, to want to be relied upon. To seek to be relied upon, to try to earn that every day by working, by being consistent, by being reliable, especially for your significant other, your female significant other. Yeah. And so this culture that tells women, first women, you should not rely on men, and tells men, you should not want to be relied on by women. You should rely on women instead. That's just backwards, and that's wrong, straight up.
I mean, we should rely on women, right? They have strengths. They have obviously very natural, wonderful gifts from God.
Obviously,
they're super. Yeah, I'm not trying to go against you. I'm just saying, like they do have wonderful things. But when it comes to like leadership, we should not rely on the woman to lead. Yeah, and honestly, we see a lot of relationships, and it's it's a pet peeve. But even more than that, it goes against who we are when we see relationships where the man is following the woman.
Oh, I know.
And we've talked about this so many times, difficult, and we will throughout probably every podcast, right? Yeah. It's so hard for us to look at a relationship and other people are like, oh, it's just the sweetest relationship. It's the best. And I'm like, yeah, he is really sweet. He's really cute, isn't he? When he's following her.
He's a nice little fellow.
Yeah, isn't he sweet? That little boy, that little guy.
Your little boy toy.
Oh, hey, bud. Yeah. It's frustrating. But
it is.
It's good to be relied upon. And unfortunately, John and this girl, they go into the fact that like, oh, this is a kink. It's not a kink. No, that's reality. He said, my fantasy is that this would happen. Hello? That's reality.
Yeah, that is reality.
In healthy marriages.
Marriages where the roles are
when the traditional roles are embraced.
That's right. Wow, that was a good way to say it. When the traditional roles are embraced, that is a reality. Mm-hmm. That's not a fantasy.
It's not something that's far away and like a kink that you have in your heart and you don't want to tell
and you got to feel guilty about it.
Yeah. That's a normal thing. My dad comes in the door every day from work. That's a reality for him.
That is.
Hey, Bryce. You need to spank this one, right?
Yeah.
Like my mom relies on my dad. My dad relies on my mom.
My dad relies on my mom that while he's gone, she's managing the household well.
She's taking care of things. And when she's leading the household when he's not there.
That's right. And when he's back, well, he's even leading it from a distance by leading her, who's leading all the children.
And dad's being led by God.
Yeah.
And everybody's
seriously.
being led. Yeah.
There's all these layers, but it's all correct.
Yeah.
And dad's doing the providing and the protecting, and my mom's doing the nurturing and the caretaking. It's wonderful.
Come on. We are products of that nourishment and
the nurture, the nourishment, the
all that good stuff, and the leadership from our own dad. My goodness, best leader ever.
Seriously.
So
it's a good thing, and men are different from women in the fact that men want to be relied upon, and women, if you search your heart, if you pray about it even, you will learn that you do desire to be led by a godly, hopefully, man, a strong man. It is way more attractive. I'm telling you, females, like, in my own experience, what I've been told, what I've experienced. Now, I'm obviously not a girl.
Getting in dangerous ground.
Yeah, I know. This is super. I'm on thin ice. But I'm telling you, a man who's confident, a man who wants to lead you, a man who is reliable, I'd be willing to wager that that's more attractive than, a femboy.
Yeah, I would hope so. Because
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be rough. But no, listen, there's this story. This guy named Ernest Shackleton. He led an overseas expedition, an ice exploration expedition, all that good stuff, to the, what is it, South Pole, North Pole?
Antarctica.
North Pole. Yeah, Antarctica. All that good stuff. I promise I read the book. And anyway, he was such a good leader that, like, his guys trusted him over everything. Like, in one scenario, they're stranded on the ice. They'd been stranded for something like 250 days already, right? So, like, they would, like, take their clothes off when it was 30 degrees.
Whoa.
Because it was so hot to them. Because they were used to, like, 0 and negative 20.
That's crazy.
So anyway, they were on the ice, and they were trying to get food for the winter, and they shot some seals, and then they shot some, like, penguins and stuff, and they had enough for, like, 2 or 3 weeks. And then they shot 2 more seals, and their leader, Ernest Shackleton, said, no, we don't need those. And they were like, yo, yes, we do, because it's wintertime. And he said, no, trust me, we don't need those. And even though it was a bad call, because they could have used that meat, they still, like, totally trusted him. And were like, all right, I guess we don't. And that's one of the things that, like, true leadership, you should inspire a love and a trust in somebody like that. And that's what John Mayer's wanting. And that's what
he wants to be that leader.
He wants to be the leader, at least in a marriage. Number one, full stop, like Josiah said, he wants to be married. And second, he talks about the pieces. Like, I want to lead. I want to be relied upon. That's a good thing.
Those are good things.
And so we would say, like, please, like, yes, like, foster that desire, right?
Yeah.
Cultivate that desire. That's a good thing. It's a good thing as a man to want to be relied upon, because we should be men that are reliable.
Yeah. And so how do you, you've got that desire, so what do? You start being consistent. You start being reliable.
You keep your promises. You keep your word.
You keep your word. And as much as it depends on you, keep that word.
Yeah.
You say you're going to do something, get it done. I mean, there's been times that I look back where I gave my word and I didn't keep it, and that ride's heavy. That ride's heavy on me.
Yeah.
There's been.
Me too, bro.
Yeah, it does. It just genuinely. And so, men, keep your word. Be reliable.
Work hard.
And you will.
Yep.
Most likely, because it's the way of society, you will find a young woman who is willing to rely on you.
Absolutely.
And wants to rely on you.
And it's so fulfilling. I've heard. I'm getting married in a couple months, and just to have a fiance who looks to me for leadership, who looks to me to make the hard decisions. It's a very fulfilling thing as a man, and I love it. And I would say, like, look for that, wait for that, hope for that, dream for that, pray for that, work for that. Even that too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, let's wrap it up.
That does it for us today. What an interesting subject. I appreciate John Mayer getting vulnerable and talking about that, because, I mean, that's a desire that young men have. That's a desire that I'm sure young women have as well, to be led. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We're The Double Take. I'm Ethan Mitchell.
I'm Josiah Mitchell.
Have a great day, great week, great life. And as always,
be good.